What's up, guys? So today I just want to come on and basically talk to you guys about sea salt water or salt water, and how it actually helps the hair to lock. You know, people, and me included, have received advice on tips to lock your hair quicker, and a lot of people say sea salt water or salt water, and I've tried it. I think I tried it like May, and I came on in like June and told you guys about my experience. I don't know, was it May or April? It wasn't long, so, and I didn't use it for long either, so the results for me just wasn't as, you know, big, grand as what a lot of other people probably experienced. So I just wanted to come on and share with you guys what I actually looked up that actually backs up the fact that sea salt water or just salt water actually does help the hair to lock. So I'm just going to share that with you right now, and let's get into it. So we're just going to start off with the structure of the hair, right? So the hair is made up of 3 layers. The cuticle, which is the outside layer of the hair. The cortex, which is the second layer of the hair where you get your color. And the medulla, which is present in some hair types. The cuticle is a layer of cells arranged like shingles on a roof from root to tip. So the cuticle is basically comprised of these cells that are overlapping, and the way to combat frizz is to keep this layer flat, to keep it smoothed down. Frizz likes to form and tingles when the cuticle layer is basically lifted up and the hair attached to each other like Velcro. So now we're going to talk about the physical bonds of hair, which is like the chemistry of the hair and all that stuff, that boring stuff. So amino acid chains form the cortex of the hair. There are 2 coiled columns, almost like DNA, like the DNA coiled thing, that held together by 3 bonds: hydrogen, salt, and disulfide. So for this video, we're only going to focus on the hydrogen, the salt, and the disulfide is just not important at this point anymore. These bonds harden as hair is dried or cooled, and this leaves you with a style. These side bonds of the hair, which, you know, I've said are important, they are very important for wet styling, like scrunching and using sea salt water. So how does sea salt water help the hair to lock? It's very easy to understand. It is hard to explain, so bear with me. Since the hair is wet with sea salt water, more hydrogen and salt is floating. Salt is floating under your the cuticle layer of the hair. So remember, the hair already has in the cortex the salt and the hydrogen. Adding the sea salt puts more into the hair. As the hair dries, the salt reaches the cuticle layer, which forms more microscopic fibers between the cells. That makes sense. So because it's moving, remember, there's already salt and all that stuff in it, so as it goes from one layer to the other, it forms just more because more of it is there. So from this, curls or coils form much easier now. So that's like basically everything of how it works. So this process of everything I just explained also happens to the loose hair that's shed within the locks. So don't think that it's just happening to the ones that's already still, you know, not didn't shed yet. It's happening also to, because hair is dead anyway, so it's going to react the same. So it's happening to the hair that's still within your locks that's shedded, right? So it's going to actually help it lock much faster with all the other hairs doing it as well. Also, shed hairs, you know, tingle so many times throughout. So when the shed hair is also tingling because of the salt water forming it to be coily or curly, right, it's going to entangle more and knot more, as well as the fiber on the cuticle layers being lifted up, the cells attaching it like the Velcro as well. All of this helps for the hair to be knotted up and locked up and causes locks faster. It makes them faster. It creates them faster, forms them faster, and you have locks quicker. But there are some cons. So that's like the pro. There's the pros of salt water, but there are cons, and the cons is really bad. It's really bad. It's like, it's basically gonna like, you're gonna make the decision to like want to use it, but then you're probably not gonna want to use it. So let me just tell you that. So the main like con of using sea salt water is the fact that it's going to dry out your hair like crazy. So it's going to damage it, and when the cuticle layer is lifted, actually this leaves the rest of the layers of your hair open to damage, because the cuticle layer protects the other layers. So when it's open, you know, and the cuticle layer gets destroyed and all that stuff. So you got to think about all of that. If you do decide to use sea salt water, just think about think about it all. Think about all that. Water from the salt water will evaporate from the hair. This will cause the amount of salt water on the hair altogether to increase, right? So just remember that. So this will cause the amount of water that's already inside of the hair to be drawn out to that salty solution on the outside of the hair, which is, now you see how the hair becomes dry. So as you guys know, or hopefully, you guys probably forgot, but this process is called osmosis, right? Probably learning in biology or something like that. Where the solvent, which is water, travels through a semi-permeable barrier, which is the hair, to a region where the solute, which is the salt, is higher. I know that probably was a lot, but basically the solvent is the water, the semi-permeable barrier is the hair, and the solute is the salt. So because the solute is higher, right, the water is going to be attracted to the salt. And to give you guys a better example of this, think about when you eat salty food. When you guys eat salty food, the water that's in your mouth, all the moisture, so if you're eating like chips, french fries, probably overly seasoned food, the water, like your mouth feels dry because all of the water is being drawn to the salt. So that's osmosis, guys. That's what's happening with your hair. So that's how come your hair is getting super dry from this process, from you putting sea salt and all that stuff in your hair. So how do we combat this problem? I would suggest you probably do this. I mean, listen, I'm not an expert, but maybe twice a week. I don't know, maybe twice a week, you know. Guys, if you're like a year in, maybe even 6 to 7 months in, you probably don't need to do this. Listen, I don't know, everybody hair locks different, like my hair, but you don't want to be doing it for like a long duration of time, because remember when I told you that when the cuticle layer is lifted, the other layers is open to damage, and salt water lifts the cuticle layer because the process from salt moving to the outer layer, cuticle layer has to be lifted open. So you just want to keep that in mind. Like I said, I would say probably use it twice a week, maybe twice a week. And once you use it, like, probably want to wash your hair once a week. Like, while you're using it, you might want to wash your hair once a week, just to wash it out and all that stuff. You probably don't want to go 2 weeks or more, because all that adds up. So that's just me. That's just what I think. I don't know. So that is how salt water helps locks to lock faster. Now we finally know, instead of it just being told to us, we finally know why salt water helps locks to lock faster and all that good stuff. And basically just use it to your advantage as you see fit. If you damage your hair, it's not on me.